What's up, y'all? Welcome to the video. Today is Saturday and I'm doing the same thing that I do every day of the week to make sure that my energy is high and I can get shit done all day and train. So today's video is all about keeping your energy up throughout the day, no ebbs and flows without drinking 27 cups of coffee. So let's get to it right after the intro. Alright, y'all, today we are talking about energy. How to keep your energy up throughout the entire day without these ebbs and flows, from the things you eat to not getting enough sleep. We're going to talk about your diet, exercise, sleep, hygiene, and even motivation and discipline, and how they're going to help you keep your energy levels super high so you can kick ass and get shit done throughout the entire day. I think that most of you would just expect me to say that I have like 27 cups of never rest throughout the day, but that's just not the case. And so I'm going to share the exact routine that I have every day, from the moment I get up to the time that I go to sleep, and how that routine helps me maintain maximal energy to get shit done all day. All right, y'all, all day energy starts with your morning routine. So at 6 a.m. every day, Monday through Sunday, I get up. Same time, every single day, and that allows my body to adjust and be used to that time no matter what. Now, my morning routine starts from there, and it starts with the most important tactic. Do not, for any reason, hit snooze. It's a fake 9 minutes of sleep that will actually ruin your energy for the rest of your day. It's a lie, and it's going to make you worse off for the whole day. So don't hit snooze. It's your chance to get up and win the day. Now, my morning routine is super simple. I get up, don't hit snooze, I chug a bunch of water, and I run 1 mile. Now, I run 1 mile because I know that I can get that done no matter how I feel in 10 minutes or less. I don't like running. Sometimes my knees are like,
sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
But I still get out and do that 1 mile because I know on a bad day it's gonna take me 10 minutes or less. I can come back and do a little bit of mobility and then start the next part. Get up and get moving. Pick a distance or 10 minutes or some time that you know you can get out and move. Now, tactic number 2, drink coffee and get shit done. So the second part of my morning, after my run, it's taken 10 to 15 minutes to do my run, and mobility is to shower and drink my first cup of coffee. I'll immediately start to do work after that first cup of coffee before the day starts for anybody else. That's why I get up a little early, get my run going, and by 6:30, I'm showered and ready for the day and working on the things that matter to me. It's not a long, drawn-out morning routine, and I'm fully on board with getting the things done that are important to me before my day starts, before my meetings start, and before I have to deal with all the people I have to deal with throughout the day. Wake up at the same time every day, don't hit snooze, chug coffee, and get shit done. All right, now we've gotten to the big part of our day, which is like the work part. Whether you go to an office or you just start getting meetings done and things like that. Like, everybody, for the most part, has a 9 to 5 portion of the day. And here's where most people experience those ebbs and flows in energy. And the biggest thing to consider here is what you eat. What I do is I have a breakfast that's really small, typically 2 eggs, like 40 grams of oats, with some blueberries and a little bit of cinnamon and just a tiny bit of maple syrup. Now, if for some reason I haven't run, then like I did several weeks ago when I wasn't doing this daily run, that oatmeal actually became a little bit too much, and that's because the sugar was making me crash. Then I'd compensate by having more coffee and things like that. Don't have too much sugar. The biggest thing I can tell you, the most important thing I can tell you to maintain your energy levels is don't eat too much sugar. If you're eating things that are processed, if you're eating things that are really heavy in sugar, you're gonna be playing with your blood sugar levels. You're gonna be eating crap foods that really aren't nutritious. They're not providing you any of the vitamins or the proteins or the things that you need, and that is what's wrecking your energy between 9 and 5. The things that you can eat in the morning: protein, and if you need carbs or like carbs, eat complex carbs. A lot of people don't eat in the morning, and sometimes I've actually chosen not to have a breakfast in the morning, and I've done just fine. So I'll have my coffee shortly after waking up, 7, maybe 7:30. I'll have my breakfast, and then around lunchtime, I'll start to dip down a little bit and I'll have a second cup of coffee. Now that second cup of coffee typically happens right after my lunch when I've had a protein heavy lunch and close to the time I'm gonna go to the gym. Proteins are just not going to make you crash as much. So I typically have maybe a protein bar, maybe some beef jerky, maybe some vegetables, something easy, some nuts that I can hold at the office, and then a protein heavy lunch like chicken and broccoli, maybe with a little bit of rice, but typically just like a beef and broccoli or chicken and broccoli or salmon or something that's really not that heavy. That'll get me through the day. It allows me to make sure that I have my calories in check, and then I can just get through the rest of the day with energy. Now, caffeine. Don't overdo it on caffeine. It's probably interesting to hear me say that, but I limit myself to 3 cups a day max. If I get up and I'm really tired, I'll have a cup of coffee in the morning, a cup of coffee when I get to the office, and then a cup of coffee before I go to the gym. That serves as my pre-workout. It still keeps me under 300 milligrams of caffeine, but it gets me through the day. And by the time I go to bed, I'm actually really tired because I've worked out pretty hard. Just to recap here, what you eat throughout the day will control your energy levels more than you know. Avoid the sugars, avoid the processed food, and drink a lot of water. I know it's cliche, that water will help with everything that you do. When you're looking at processed foods, sometimes it's not easy to just say don't eat processed foods and understand what that means. If you're buying something that's in a package, if you're buying something that has a lot of ingredients that you don't know what they are, you should avoid that food. That means, of course, cookies, cakes, nuts that are trail mix and have M&Ms and things like that. A lot of dried fruits that have added sugars, juices, protein bars and granola bars that are actually basically candy bars. Avoid all of those things. If you can get things that don't have added sugars, if you can get nuts, if you can get things like RX bars, they're actually really good for you. You can have those snacks throughout the day and be perfectly fine. You can have your oats in the morning, your eggs, your salmon. You can even do things like bagels and toast as long as you're avoiding the packaged and processed foods. Other great things to have are carbs, pastas and vegetables and fish and things like that. So really the fresh foods, the most fresh foods that you can get, whether it's nuts that don't have added sugars or added salt or things like that, or beef jerky that don't have added sugars, or even vegetables and dried fruits that don't have added sugars, those are all good options on good foods to eat throughout the day that will help you maintain your energy. Now let's get to the last tactic, which is movement throughout the day, and that both includes exercise and movement that isn't considered exercise. See you in a sec. Oh yeah, we just got here to the gym, and what better place to talk about movement than to get a gym. So there's kind of this theory that exercise and movement create more mitochondria, and then therefore you produce more ATP in the body that will just give you more energy throughout the day. But whether that's really true for just general energy, like keeping up your energy throughout the day while you're working on tasks at work or not, point is you still should get some exercise. So we're gonna step inside and get our leg day in. We will see you in a second. All right, y'all, leg day complete. That was a rough one. Still dealing with the mobility, but able to get back up towards my really heavy weights without pain. So like I said, there's 2 types of movement I'm referring to. The idea is with more muscle mass, no matter what, you've got more mitochondria, you've got more going on in your cells, you just produce more energy, you're healthier, you feel better. So the first type of movement is general fitness. I start my morning with a 1-mile run that gets my blood flowing, that gets everything going, gets my mind going, and gets me out of the state of being tired and into the state of movement and momentum. And if you can start with momentum, you can keep momentum throughout the day. Now, General fitness is also lifting weights. If you can go twice a week and lift weights, if you've been lifting, you'll maintain whatever you have. If you haven't lifted, you'll see massive gains. So general fitness, building strength is incredibly important. You'll have more energy. Now the second type of movement I'm referring to is just general movement throughout the day. I have a standing desk at my office and it's super cheap. It was like 50 or $100 and it's just got levers on the side and it allows me to stand up in multiple periods throughout the day. It allows me to move around, change weight on my legs, and not just be sitting like a fat potato all day. On top of that, after every meeting or between every task, I'll get up and I'll walk around, I'll go to the bathroom, I'll get more coffee, I'll get more water, whatever. And that will keep blood flowing throughout the day. That will keep your mind moving. That will allow you to not get stagnant and focused. So going back to like the Pomodoro method, you can do a 20-minute working session, take 5 minutes off, walk around and get back to it. If you find yourself in a flow state and you can't do that with 20 minutes, do it every hour. Set a timer to go get more water. Set a timer to make a lap around your office or your house or whatever you do and keep moving. The next thing we're gonna talk about is hygiene. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm gonna go hit the shower. We'll see you back at the office. All right, y'all, back at the office, showered up. I'm gonna tell you about the next important thing, which is hygiene. And it sounds crazy, but everything from showering and cleaning your sheets, wearing new clothes, being shaven and presentable, and then of course, things like brushing your teeth, they're all important. And they're important for a few different reasons when it comes to your energy levels. If you look at hygiene in terms of bacteria and things like that, if your body is fighting bacteria, and fighting you being sick, all of those things, it's taking energy away from just allowing you to think through your problems more and work through the workday. So little things like brushing your teeth the first thing when you get up, cleaning your sheets regularly, wearing clean clothes, having cleaner skin, all of those things contribute not only from the point of view of bacteria and viruses and all of these other things that could possibly make you sick, but they just also make you feel better. I truly believe if you look good, you feel good. If you hold yourself to a standard where you're presentable, you're clean shaven, you've got a haircut, and you've gotten nice clothes on to go to work, all those things actually put you in a position to work, and that raises your energy levels. It's really hard to slack off when you look like you should be working. Now our next tactic is to manage stress. That kind of goes along with hygiene because if your body is fighting bacteria and fighting being sick and fighting things like that, it's actually stressed out. Now, when your body produces cortisol, it's a stress mechanism and that messes with your sleep, that messes with your happiness, that messes with all kinds of things. And so one of the best pieces of advice I've been given is make decisions. Don't leave decisions unmade. Don't let things sit there and fester in your mind and cause you stress. Stress is one of the biggest energy sucks that you can possibly have. So manage your stress, do everything you can to relieve it. Meditate if you need to. That's why I go to the gym. If I'm trying to run my business and trying to do these videos and trying to do all kinds of things, then I can manage my stress by going to the gym, maybe meditating once in a while, making sure I get my sleep, making sure I'm hydrated, all of those things that keeps stress low. And then I don't have to worry about cortisol messing with my sleep or messing with my testosterone levels or messing with any of those other things that it just absolutely wrecks. So there's 3 more things that I want to talk about. And they're all related, but they're all specific tactics. One is sleep, one is supplementation, and then the very last one is motivation and overall discipline. If you're not sleeping, you're not providing your body with the optimal time to recover, especially if you're training, especially if you're doing something that's stressful. Sleep will allow your body to reduce stress hormones, increase hormones that are good for your body, and just provide you with overall energy. So if you have the ability to take a 20-minute nap in the middle of the day, and you can only get 6 or 7 hours of sleep, that happens. If you're in a demanding job, if you have kids, if you have a business, if you have all these things that most of us have, sleep is a hard thing to manage, but it is one of the most, if not the most important thing in managing your energy. And that brings us to our penultimate thing, which is supplements. Supplements can be anything that you use, from the protein powders that you use for fitness to sleep aids and things like that. And my advice on supplements is keep it simple. So the supplements that I use are, of course, our high quality Never Rest coffee. I use Athletic Greens. I think they're a great micronutrient source. I use vitamin D, and I use protein once in a while. I don't use any sleep aids because if I've slept enough at least 6.5 hours. I've stayed hydrated. I haven't overdone it on caffeine. I haven't overdone it on all those other things, and I've gotten the micronutrients that I need, then I really don't need much other supplementation. If you really think you need supplements, look at your micronutrients first. Those micronutrients will provide you the vitamins and minerals that you don't get from your food. Other supplements might just be helping you get the calories. So if you're in a huge caloric deficit, that's going to mess with your energy levels as well, and that's when something like a protein can come in handy. Like I said, athletic greens, coffee, once in a while protein, and then whole foods. No processed foods, no sugary foods, no foods with added sugars. Is the best way to go. All of the other supplements actually have detrimental effects, including things like melatonin. So steer away from them if you can, but if they help you sleep, if they help you get through the day, and you can sustainably do them, take a look. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is general motivation and discipline. When you look at energy levels throughout the day, they ebb and flow because of sleep, because of hydration, because of your diet, because maybe you over or under caffeinated. There are those factors, but when you look at the long term, if you're not motivated by what you're doing, your general energy is going to start much lower than somebody who's highly motivated and disciplined to accomplish a goal. If you're working a 9 to 5, if you're doing things like paying off debt or trying to put your kids through school, whatever you may be doing that's just monotonous as hell, put that motivation in front of you. If you're paying off debt, why are you paying off debt? What is the goal after you've paid that debt off? If you're working a 9 to 5 and you hate it, why are you there? What are you doing this for? It could be to start your business, it could be to pay off debt, it could be to buy a car, it could be to go on trips, whatever it is, keep that motivation in front of you. And then use that motivation to stay disciplined. I know that if I forget my motivation, if I forget my motive for doing something sometimes, my energy is tanked. And that could be from the environment I'm working in to the menial tasks that I'm doing. And there's so many things that you can do to get rid of that. You can hire VAs, you can hire the resources, you can find a new job. The point is, keep your motivations and discipline in front of you. So guys, that is all I have for today. Please like the video, subscribe if you're new here. As always, go get shit done, never rest.